Guys, it's me again, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. 2017, a quick one, guys. 2017 has been a good year, both in my personal life and on YouTube, and I'm no doubt you guys are the same. But in relation to this, you guys know I always highlight racism and things like that, and I know people would, and to a degree, racism has moved ahead, and it's not like it used to be in the old days. And I do believe that a lot of there's a common ground in the sense that racism, on one hand, racism is very big and prevalent and denies people opportunities, gateways, and things like that. But on the other hand, some people that are victims of that just use the blame game. There's middle grounds where we should acknowledge that these things exist, but we need to also acknowledge that we can come upon this, we can try, we can organize certain things and do things differently in that. And having said that, I mean, people of my generation in their 20s and just older are very unique in the sense that, yes, we've come a long way, but I mean, my parents have told me about the Teddy Boys and things like that. My granddad, when he's trying to come to this country, no cats, no dogs, no Negroes, and things like that. Rosa Parks is in America, but was 62 years ago or something like that. So we're still, racism is very much alive and kicking and stuff like that. Not only that, last year you saw the Brexit stuff. And on top of this, again, I'm not saying everyone that voted Brexit is racist, because I could have voted that myself. You guys will never know my political views, but I could have or could not have voted that myself. But what we have seen is that it's still alive and kicking, and it's at the forefront. A lot of these racists are still alive, sadly. But we, away from the football pitch, we're seeing in 2017 little school kids can't go to school because their hair is deemed messy or unprofessional and they've got dreadlocks. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that, but you can see why. We've seen the Aluko racism incident where people will say it's not racism, it's just banter, blah blah blah. We'll see Griezmann, very much the same but slightly different to a degree by some standards. I'm not saying he's racist by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact of the matter is he blacked up his face, he did blackface. That has many negative connotations to people. He has a lot of black supporters, and that probably disheartened them that he thinks like that. Ryan Brewster's been dealing with it 4 times alone this season. Bobby Akinde, I can't say his name, forgive me, of Liverpool as well, similar to Brewster, dealt with it as well. YouTube's very own Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV versus Spurs being called a nigger as well, forgive me for my language. Cyrus Christie of Ireland versus Scotland or whoever they played, on the end of racism, despite the fact he was one of their decent, he was very decent for them, apart from making a mistake that led to them not going through into the cup competition. Scott Sinclair, I don't even watch Scottish football, but every week he's mocked people blacking up and saying Negro and all of these sort of things. Kick It Out, very good organisation. I go to a lot of their events. Shout out to Troy Townsend and them man there. They released a report where it basically confirms racism is back at the forefront. Incidences are rising, some of the highest in years. So these are the sort of things. The very own paper demonize black people and black players and things like that. I mean, people are saying they're linking Stormzy with being unprofessional with smoking weed, but when these pop stars are using MDMA and kicking up and trashing venues, it's called being a maverick. That's the difference between the erratic behavior of two different races, in my opinion. But yeah, you're seeing the Stormzy stuff. It doesn't matter in the media if we spend £1 like Sterling going and buying shower gel, if we spend $1 million like Lukaku on his Bentley, I suppose. I know it's just a shock that black players get paid a lot of money and actually spend it every now and again. It's a shock. Like Pogba's wearing a coat, it makes the news. I mean, we just can't be allowed. Like it just can't be allowed. Again, I'm not here to play victim and things like that. I'm just here to simply remind people that racism isn't going away. Don't let people tell you it's going away. Don't let people tell you it's in the back burner and we're moving away, because it's right in front of us. And probably definitely in my generation, race is probably one of the most important factors, most important topics, and most important debates, and at the forefront then more so now than it's ever been since I've been on this earth. Again, and like I said at the beginning, but at the same time, with me saying this, because I can recognize these things, I'm not a fan of the victimized thing. I'm not a fan. We can acknowledge the oppression, but I'm not a fan of running towards, oh, it's because I'm da-da-da, oh, it's because this and that, and if you get where I'm going. Guys, I'm preaching too much now. I just wanted to highlight that. Happy New Year. Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. I'm signing out. Thank you very much for the support over the year and everything else. I'm out.